Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at what the heck is going on with Games Workshop. So for those of you that follow the scene closely, or for those of you that don't, or possibly neither one of those, and you just want to order some stuff and it's just not working right now, there are currently some issues with Games Workshop. So we're going to talk about those issues, address them, and then I'll give you guys my opinion on them and see how we can get around this. So recently saw the Leagues of Votann army set come out, and it was sold out pretty quickly. As a matter of fact, in the United States, by the time you logged on to the website, as soon as it went live, it was just about already sold out. They had a limit of 1 for retail customers to purchase, but obviously did not have that limit for stores. So essentially what happened was there was a lot of hype behind the Votann and their overpowered rules. So a lot of the stores went out and bought hundreds or thousands of copies that left no copies for the regular consumer to purchase directly from Games Workshop, or a lot of pre-orders didn't get met, etc. And there was issues. But now the Leagues of Votann box set was gone from Games Workshop's website for some time. Obviously we got the the nerf since then. And now here we have the Leagues of Votann army set showing back up once again in the USA. Now, I'm not going to go through and check every single country for every single product. You can let me know if you're in a different area and the situation is different for you. But now we see the Leagues of Votann Army box set, limited edition, limited release, coming back into stock. And you can buy one at a time directly from Games Workshop. Obviously, they are all over the internet as well for around $160 to $170, roughly 15 to 20% off. But I do think it's interesting that suddenly they showed up back in Games Workshop store. Obviously with these limited box sets, it is a one-time running thing, and once they're gone, they're gone. So Games Workshop must have randomly discovered a bunch more of these, specifically in the United States, I guess, because now they are available for sale once again. So a very strange situation, but we'll see how that plays out and how that ties into our whole theme here. So next we see, obviously, Curse City and a bunch of other stuff on here. But now I want to talk about Kill Team Shadowvaults. Essentially, what has happened with Kill Team Shadowvaults is a bunch of just crazy stuff. We have no idea what's honestly going on. So the theory is, obviously with the Kill Team seasons, there's supposed to be a Kill Team starter set, which was Into the Dark, and then 3 total expansions spread out over the season, which is... It's been stated by Games Workshop, or presumably that season is to last for 1 year. Now, in that 1 year, you would expect, obviously, 1 box per quarter, like Games Workshop has been doing. No big surprises there. They have a game plan. It's been working well, and they're using that game plan. Now, suddenly, basically what happened was Shadowvaults went up on pre-order, and a bunch of retailers, specifically online retailers, have been contacting people that have made a purchase on their website of the Kill Team Shadowvaults, and then essentially saying, hey, we don't have enough of these. Games Workshop said that they were going to have this many. They're not able to fulfill our complete order, so we're basically just going to be canceling your order because we're going to fulfill them in the order that they came in. So a lot of people now thought they had Shadowvaults on pre-order, and they don't. And then if you go to different websites, they're out of them. It's no longer available. Similar to what we saw with the Votann. As a matter of fact, exactly what we saw with the Votann. It went up on pre-order. They were basically gone like right away. And then there was issues fulfilling those orders or getting the product. Now here with Shadowvaults, we see in the United States, this item is still up on pre-order. And you can still order up to 3 in a single purchase from GW. So there's no issues currently in the United States. But the real question is, what is the real issue? Why did they push out Shadowvaults so fast? Why did it come out, basically 6 weeks after the starter set? Why are there not enough of them, etc., etc., etc.? So there's lots of theories. Obviously, we don't know exactly what's going on with GW, but again, very strange situation. They're clearly having difficulties anticipating the demand for some of these limited sets, and then also they're clearly having some issues figuring out where that demand is going to come from, like regionally or globally, basically. Because we see products for like weeks and months that are available in the United States or in the UK that are not available in other areas. So Games Workshop has these products. They ship a certain amount to, different continents or different, countries or regions, etc. And then they kind of fill the gap where they can. But the idea for Games Workshop is to just sell all of their products. So they don't care if they sell all their products to one person who resells them, or if they sell all their products to, 1,000 different customers. The only difference for them is the margin if someone purchases directly from the web store. So that is the only real difference for GW. So why did Shadowvaults expansion come out so quickly, and why is it already gone and they're having issues with it? Well, I suspect what happened was because the boarding actions setup is on the way, they basically wanted to rush this out so that people could buy the starter set Into the Dark and then the expansion Shadowvaults, and then have all of the terrain and everything for boarding actions so they could play their Combat Patrol 40k games on these type of boards, etc. Unfortunately, I think what happened was they anticipated, because they were releasing it so quickly after the starter set, that there would be less demand for it, and then they're having trouble basically keeping up and figuring out exactly where stuff should go and how many should be made. So initially there was talks that they would be doing a second running right away of this set, and that it wouldn't be a big deal. Part of the other speculation is that obviously because of the Astra Militarum Codex and all of the new units coming out and everything, that they wanted to rush this set out because they knew people would buy it for the essential paywall to get a hold of the Kasrkins. Because obviously it's a new kit. It's not available for sale yet, but you can get it by buying Shadowvaults. Again, pure speculation. But the most important thing is that it's still available in the United States. It's not available in other places. There's talks of a second run. There's a lot of people around the world that want to get a hold of it, or thought they had gotten a hold of it, that don't. Do I think there's going to be some massive shortage of Shadowvaults and no one's going to be able to get a hold of the set? No, not at all. I imagine they probably did a smaller run because it's all the same terrain, so they figured there'd be a little less demand for it right after the Into the Dark set. I suspect that they had delays with Into the Dark, so they wanted to go ahead and stick to the schedule on Shadowvaults. So it seems like it came out right away, but really Into the Dark was delayed a few weeks. And then realistically, what it all comes down to is they probably have a pretty clear plan for what's going to come out from now until the end of the year, in advance of Christmas, etc., and how they're going to do these releases and what's going to sell and how many, etc. And so they probably just wanted to get this out in advance so it didn't mess with any of that Christmas schedule stuff. And, it has led to some complications. The fact of the matter is that Games Workshop is still having some serious complications. So that is the Leagues of Votann army set. That is the Kill Team Shadowvaults box set. And then obviously we see, just a bunch of other random pre-orders and new releases, etc., etc. This was another one, the Warhammer Quest Curse City Night Wars, with lots of controversy and issues behind it. So here we have the Warhammer Quest Curse City Night Wars. There's a lot of speculation that this was initially supposed to be an expansion or series of expansions back when Curse City first came out, and then there were some issues with Curse City, so they delayed this, released the model separately, and now here is the expansion coming later. So this is all the content you would normally get in a Games Workshop game expansion, less the actual miniatures. So it's a $50 price point for the game components, and then it includes all the stat cards and everything for the models, but you have to go out and purchase the models on your own. You can buy the actual Games Workshop models, or you could buy, proxies or print them, etc., etc. But the truth is, it's roughly, if you totaled everything up to individually, it's roughly like $200 to $265, depending if you're going to use your bats from the starter set or if you're going to buy the actual fell bats, etc., etc. But roughly, it's a $200 expansion, no models included, and then $50. And again, this sold out immediately on Games Workshop's website. It was no longer available, and now here it is popping back up. So clearly there's some issues with not only supply and demand, not only production and, getting things to where they need to be, but also, things coming in and out of stock on a regular basis. It's not like Games Workshop, since this came out a couple weeks ago, has printed off, packaged, and now has a bunch more of these for sale. Clearly there was a difference between what they had listed and what they had available, and now they're just kind of like bridging that gap, which is fine, but it does definitely scare people when a new release comes out. They feel that FOMO to get it, they don't get it right away, and then suddenly it's gone, and they're afraid they're going to have to pay, exorbitant prices from a scalper or something like that. So that is the Curse City Night Wars fiasco. I do want to talk about one more thing as well. We did see Games Workshop's web store go down on Saturday for about over 2 hours during the pre-order period. And unfortunately, once again, there were some issues. If you go to the website right now, say you were after the War of the Fang, which was obviously the only special edition item, it does say it's still available on the site. But when we do go ahead and click on it, it is no longer available. So those 1,500 copies are gone. If you were on the site ready to buy this and then it went down for a couple hours, there's really nothing they can do. Whatever their issues were, and now when it's all said and done, there's no more copies of this. They don't have any extra copies on reserve waiting for people if the site goes down or anything like that. So once again, just another fiasco. So, is this game changing? Is this world ending? Is it insane if you can't get the box set you want or the signed limited edition book you want, etc.? No. Is it crazy for Games Workshop to nerf an entire army or faction, basically before it's even out and been legitimately play tested in the community? That's up to you. But the fact of the matter is there's clearly a lot going on. Games Workshop is pumping out product faster than they have ever pumped it out, and they are consistently having issues. Now, where are the issues at? Are they in supply chain? Are they in shipping? Are they in logistics? The truth is, it's probably a combination of all those things. But clearly, Games Workshop has some serious issues. You shouldn't fall and break to the FOMO or anything like that, as a lot of people may have paid overprice for something or been worried they weren't going to be able to get it. And now here they are right back in the web store popping up. It's not always going to be the situation. I don't know if they're going to do a second Shadowvaults run and all the people will be able to get it. I know the internet is a big place and you can probably get what you need regardless. But the fact of the matter is there's clearly a bunch of crazy stuff going on at GW, and they're definitely having some serious issues. I don't exactly know where those issues lie, but what I do know is that the website's back working, which is definitely a start. The Leagues of Votann army set is back in stock in the United States from Games Workshop, and Kill Team Shadowvaults is still in stock and on pre-order from Games Workshop. So very good signs for availability in the United States. I don't know what that's going to end up meaning in other countries, or whether or not they're going to further have issues. But if we do just scroll up here, and we can just switch over real quick and take a look. So we'll see what's going on in the UK web store and see if they are facing these same issues that we keep hearing about, just for a little bit of context. So we'll just scroll down here and take a look. And don't look at the prices if you live outside the UK, because they will probably just anger you further. How cheap everything is in British pounds when essentially the dollar and the pound are nearly at parity. And I'm sure this is the case for many other currencies as well. So yeah, scrolling on down here, the fact that we don't see them and we're this far in means they probably are in fact out. So we still see the Leagues of Votann army set sold out online, no longer available. And we see Kill Team Shadowvaults sold out online, no longer available. Not surprising for £110. What a deal. Yeah, these prices are crazy. 120 in the UK in pounds, or 110 pounds, and this was $200 USD, and this was $185 USD. War of the Fang, 45 pounds. Here it was 75 pounds. Again, we see the Cursed City Night Wars set sold out here, 30 pounds. In US, it is $50. So crazy differences. Obviously have nothing to do with, import tax is roughly like 6%, and oftentimes not even applicable on toys to the United States. Shipping is back down to normal levels that it was at, 2 to 5 years ago. And then on top of all of that, the British pound is trading basically at like 1.1 to 1.15 to US dollars. So basically, £1 is equivalent to $1.15, but Games Workshop prices, £1 is the equivalent to basically like, $1.80, something like that. So very strange. Lots going on with Games Workshop. I don't know exactly what the issue is or why it's happening, but definitely worth paying attention to. I do feel bad for anybody that couldn't get what they needed, but worst case scenario, pay a couple extra bucks, or they'll do a second running or something like that. But very strange, all of the issues going on at Games Workshop. They seem like they're trying to be more open with communication in the community with like the Votann stuff and everything, and asking for people's feedback, etc. And then the truth is it's just one fiasco after the other, and we never really find out what happened or why. And, we're kind of just left wondering. So one way or the other, Games Workshop, either be transparent or don't be transparent, but trying to virtue signal like you're transparent and you're really not really helping anybody. So but that's it. We'll go ahead and wrap it up there for today. If you have a theory or idea as to what exactly is going on, why these items are disappearing and then reappearing, why they're having so many issues, just one after another, they can't keep their website running, they can't fulfill orders, they're running out of stock immediately, they're letting retailers buy as many of something as they want, but then the actual customers can't get a hold of them. Very, very strange. Obviously, Games Workshop, not run the best, but they definitely have the best miniatures, in my opinion at least. So, but that's it for today. Going to wrap it up there. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your opinion is on these issues we discussed today. And I am Warhammer Man. This is Warhammer Man Studios. And if you're into these daily reaction reviews and news videos, magnetization, painting, and various tutorials for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, warcry, Horus Heresy, and all of that good stuff, make sure to like and subscribe. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.